Mr. Ribble.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to the panel. It's as a former business owner myself, it's always good to talk to some other business owners. So thanks for being here. Thanks for taking time away from your companies to come and talk to us today. That's really important that you're here, and I wanted you to know how much I appreciate it. Mr. Wolf, since you're from the grand state of Wisconsin, as I am, I'd like to just address my first question to you. Hog production in Wisconsin has dropped by over 1 million head. Can you talk to us a little bit about what's caused that drop off and what the economic impact has been?
Well, thank you, Mr. Ribble. I appreciate you being here from Wisconsin too and taking time away from your business to run and represent us here. It's a great honor. In Wisconsin, it was a time when I started 35 years ago that we were a large pork production state. A number of things have happened over the years. Number one, of course, we lost our packing industry. It's become more efficient, and of course, we understand that. But the second part of it is the competitive disadvantage that regulation has put Wisconsin in as far as pork producers, coming down from the EPA and DNR as far as costs that other states around us don't have to compete with. And therefore, it's just been unfavorable for producers to locate in Wisconsin.
Okay, well, when you talk about the EPA, can you maybe cite some specific examples?
Well, the only couple that I come right off the top of my head is that as far as our nutrient content is established at a little different rate than other ones are. As far as determining CAFO numbers, they count them at a different rate. So there's a number of issues like that that just makes it on a competitive nature. If you had your choice and you're going to run a business, which you have, you're going to go to the one place that has less regulation.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Mrs. Mashoff, 6 generations, that's impressive. Not a lot of family businesses around for that long, so congratulations to your family. You mentioned in your testimony that there have been one of the threats to your business have come from anti-livestock and strident animal rights groups. Can you talk to us a little bit about, you mentioned it briefly in your testimony, but I'd like you to go a little bit further on the difference today on how you're treating animals than maybe 3 generations ago, and what the improvements have been in the quality and safety of your pigs.
Well, every aspect of animal care has changed. This is not your grandpa's farm anymore. Just like every other industry in this country, we've moved forward thanks to technology and science-based decision making. So our housing has changed based on science. Our nutrition requirements have changed. One example, which I think is very, very unique, is as we study how the genetic lines that we use grow, we actually ultrasound that animal every week of its life. So we actually have a model of how it grows every single week, how much weight it gains, where the back fat is deposited, how much muscle is being maintained, etc. Based on that type of technology, we create 27 different rations to feed that animal over the course of the 5.5 months that it is growing. And one ration may last 3 days, one ration may last 2 weeks, depending on what that animal needs at every stage of its growth curve. That's the way science has guided and changed the way we raise animals in this day and age. And that's one of the things that we think makes the Mashoff system unique, the fact that we're not afraid to invest in technology because we believe those changes will allow us to be more competitive on the marketplace.
Well, why do you suppose the animal welfare groups are so concerned then? Is there a communication problem? Is there a lack of understanding?
There's a lack of people eating meat from their perspective probably, but in terms of there probably is a communication issue. We need to continue to have opportunities to explain that everything we do is guided by science. Sometimes those technical answers aren't the most entertaining, and so they get lost in the shuffle of everyday news. But we obviously do need to do a better job communicating. But there are a great many people who try to use the banner of animal welfare when really they are just actually people who believe in animal rights and believe in taking away the consumer's choice to have meat in their diet.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Brenneman, thanks for being here. In your testimony, you said, I'm not a lawyer, I'm a businessman. But I'm a citizen, and basic civics teaches us that there are three branches of government for a reason. I think it's troubling when the executive branch blatantly ignores the judiciary, and the branch of government that interprets the laws. And it is also troubling when the executive branch ignores the intent of Congress, indeed this committee, when it enacts laws. Simply put, the disdain found in the GIPSA rule for the courts and the Congress is not good government. Congratulations for writing that paragraph. I wish I had said it so accurately and so correctly. Welcome to my world. My question, though, really relates. I just wanted to congratulate you on that statement. My question relates to trade. What is the cost of waiting? What's the big deal if some of these agreements take a little bit longer so that they're, as the administration would tell us, more thoroughly conceived?
Well, it's hard to put a number on the cost, and I apologize that I can't do that. Each one of them would be looked at slightly different, but the export markets are increasingly important to the pork business today, more so than any other time. We rely on the export markets. When we see one or more export markets close, such as we did back in 2009 when H1N1 hit, it had a significant impact on the U.S. pork industry. So while I can't give you an exact number, I know there's a lot of statistics out there, and each one of the agreements would be different. There is no doubt it is extremely significant to our industry.
Well, thank you very much for your testimony. And Mr. Chairman, I apologize for going over a little bit.
That's okay. Mr. Schrader.
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pleasure to be at the